Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 19 shows us the argument between Matsuri and Konohamaru. But what's interesting is that Eida glimpses into their argument, and she's able to deduce exactly what the problem is. It's not so much that she doesn't want to just call him Konohamaru-chan, he doesn't want to. It's not as simple as that. It's as simple as they don't have the relationship that Konohamaru has with Moegi, and that's why he's uncomfortable with that. You know what I mean? And that's why Matsuri gets jealous, and then it becomes this whole thing. But I think what's really cool is that it is able to fully understand what the Shinju and what Konohamaru are kind of battling against, kind of the reasoning why Matsuri wants Konohamaru. You know what I'm saying? And it's all because of her Senrigan. She's able to see into Konohamaru's past and understand what the relationship between the one who was bitten, right, Moegi, who turned into a tree, and Matsuri, the reason why they're basically going after who they're going after. And she can do this for Sarada with Hidari. She can do this with Gaara and Shinki. She could do it with basically everybody. She could do it with herself, but she mostly knows how she affected Bug. She's able to do it with all of the Shinju. She's able to do it with everybody, that she's able to look back on their past and kind of figure out everybody's relationship to it. Except for Jura. Sort of. Well, she's able to understand that he's going after the Nine Tails, but she's not able to deduce why that's his instinct or why he chooses that. It's possible it's just because he's a tailed beast himself and that's as far as it goes back. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what his motivation is, but I think, for me, Jura is after the Nine Tails because he's the 10 Tails and he wants to become stronger, and so he's going to go after Himawari or Naruto before, so it's kind of all leading down that path for me. But since she can't really look at Jura or look at their full conversation all the time because Bug's Shinju is blocking her, or can like sense when she's using her Senrigan to look at them, so she kind of has to pull back from that. But anyways, for her to fully understand everybody's relationship is pretty important. So that way she can kind of communicate to Kashin Koji, she can communicate to Shikamaru, and they can kind of regroup and figure out, okay, we know what everybody's relationship is because Eida is giving us this intel. She's able to see into everybody's pasts and understand what it is, the connection between the Shinju and those that they want. Obviously, Hidari wants Sarada because it's Sasuke and it's his daughter, and so that's the relationship there. And Sarada has to kind of find a way to exploit that, maybe. And the same goes for Shinki and Gaara and maybe his friends, and the same goes for basically the rest of them. I definitely feel like her Senrigan is definitely overpowered, as well as her omnipotence, her charm ability, but it's one of the important pieces of communication, of knowledge, to understand the Shinju and to give everybody the opportunity to figure out what is the best player. How can we figure out how we avoid certain scenarios. So it's a collaborative effort. It's Kashin Koji seeing the potential future, and then Eida in real time, in the real place, and based on past information on everybody's kind of abilities or what they've gone through or have experienced with the Shinjus in question or with their human forms, that's going to help them figure out a way to fight them, to hit them hard. And I think when it comes down to Matsuri and Konohamaru, the reason why Konohamaru is going to fail is, one, he's doing it on his own and he's arguing about the wrong thing. He's not lying or deceiving her like he said he was going to do or should have done. You know what I mean? He's kind of letting his emotions take over, his feelings for his friendship with Moegi to kind of take over, and it's like, don't call me Konohamaru-chan. That's only for one friend and it doesn't feel right when you say it, so can you just stop doing that? And then they get into this heated exchange. Now, that's a failure, okay? Moving on, that is a total failure and a blunder on his part. But from this point on, they could use that kind of emotional connection because Matsuri knows who Moegi is. You know what I mean? I don't know if she knows specifically that her whole identity is made from it, but it's possible, okay? So anyways, when it comes to that Shinju, Matsuri, it's definitely going to come down to Team 10 being a part of the group to kind of to really fight her with Konohamaru, it needs to be a team of them who know her very well, because Team 10 was trained by Moegi, and now they're going to be the ones to kind of help save her. So that kind of student-teacher relationship could come in handy moving forward, and Eida will be able to get glimpses of, I guess, Team 10's training while during the 3 years, see what they've been working on, what they've been building towards, and hopefully that'll give us a little bit to work with, But as of right now, we have no idea what Team 10's been working on. Ino is still, down for the count. Shikadai isn't really doing anything. Chocho's definitely not doing anything. So it's just a matter of time before they get brought back into the story and use their familiar relationships with Moegi to figure out a way to beat Matsuri. Because that's going to be the key to stopping her, is their feelings, their emotions, what they know about Moegi probably passes on to Matsuri, and they can use that to defeat her. So it's all going to come down to how she gets the information, what she watches, what she sees, what kind of things in the past are relevant now in the present, and how that will affect the future with Kashin Koji. So it's really important that Eida sits down and just watches as much as she can, learn as much as she can about everybody who's affected Moegi, who's a part of Moegi's life, who has connected with her, hasn't connected with her. It all needs to mesh together. And the same goes for Sarada, the same goes for Shinki and Gaara, the same goes for Jura and Bug and Damon. All of them together have to learn and figure out more and more and more about them. So it's going to be really interesting moving forward, and especially in the next chapter when we get into the fight, we'll either see if Konohamaru sinks or swims in his fight. We'll have to see, but until then, right now, this is the most that we got to work with, and Eida's doing a pretty good job, I think. All things considered, considering that the Bug Shinju can see what she's doing. So she's not able to glimpse into that, and so on and so forth. So it's not so bad. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah,